Hello everyone, welcome back. Some good news. Akira Yellow Dog appears to be much better today. So much so that she is really naughty, demanding attention all the time and fiercely barking every time something moves outside. She'll stay on the antibiotics though for the next 3 days. The vet was indeed convinced that she got something in because she had no fever, which was an indication that it wasn't a virus or some kind of illness. Guys, it was indeed a shit show in the literal sense for 3 days. Not something I would wish on my biggest enemy. I'm not saying that this was the case, but there is again a spate of incidents where dogs and cats are being poisoned. It is in our local paper and on Facebook. How humans can actually do this to animals, I cannot even begin to understand. Anyway, folks, before we get to Harry and Meghan again, I have 2 matters I want to address. First, in my community post, I asked whether you agree that at the very least, Charles should have released a statement and expressed his condolences to the family and friends of Anne Widdecombe. And overwhelmingly, you guys said yes, he should have. The fact is, however, he didn't. And for that matter, neither did his second-in-command, Prince William, or his compassionate wife, Catherine, or any other royal like Princess Anne or Prince Edward. However, having said that, it is in technical terms the King's government, a place where Anne Widdecombe served for many, many years. First as Member of Parliament for Maidstone from 1987 to 2010. That, my dears, is 23 years of service, of getting up and showing up. She was a member of the European Parliament for South West England from 2019 to 2020. She was also the Minister of State for Prisons from February 1995 to May 1997, and the Minister of State for Employment 1993 to 1995. She was also Parliamentary Under Secretary of State for Social Security from 1990 to 1993. The list goes on and on and on. This woman, whether you agreed with her or not, got up, she stood up, and she worked for England for many, many long years. However, dear King Charles III has sent his most heartfelt condolences after the death of Qatar's Emir Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa. He could also offer his condolences to the England squad following their loss to Argentina in the World Cup semi-final. Yet, not a word that I can see for a woman who served the country for so many years. He's even sending his brother Edward to represent him and pay his respects following the Sheikh's death. But for Anne, nothing. Not a word, not a card, not a flower. Forget politics. There's nothing political about opening your ugly trap and just saying, I'm so sorry to hear about the death of your aunt, your friend, blah, blah, blah. But here's what really ticks me off. When David Ames, I hope I'm pronouncing his surname correctly, it's Amess, but when David Ames was murdered in 2021, Charles did not issue a message of condolence immediately, but he actively issued a letters patent that granted Southend-on-Sea city status in tribute to David Ames. And while presenting the honour, he spoke out and strongly condemned the murder, comparing the act of violence to the path to war and destruction. Stupid thing to say anyway, but never mind. The Queen did not personally issue a message, but the royal accounts did display messages of condolences, and listen to this, other members of the family spoke out. William and Catherine expressed their shock and devastation with a post on Twitter reading, "We are shocked and saddened by the murder of Sir David Ames, who dedicated 40 years of his life to serving his community. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family, friends, and colleagues." Nice, very nice. Now, William and Catherine, what about Anne? I guess, or I am guessing, that her pro-life politics, her being against fox hunting, for instance, has put her on the wrong side of royal politics. That's all I can think of. And if that is the case, not saying it is, I'm saying if that is the case, then I'm afraid the royal family is no longer fit for purpose. Sorry to break it to you that bluntly. Charles is not acting as king, at least not as the king of the United Kingdom. I'm sorry to be so blunt, but if you are a white conservative Christian, you are less than gum under Charles's shoe. He does not see you, he does not hear you, and he certainly does not care about you. And now, Kensington Palace will hear about this video. They will inform Buckingham Palace, and in a day or so, they'll make a post on Instagram or Twitter, just for the show, just in case the people decide to force or call for a referendum. Okay, now that I have that off my chest, where is his most sincere, not, condolences with regards to the devastating wildfires in northern Ontario? By Wednesday morning, there were 148 wildfires raging, devastating and engulfing many villages, and with hundreds, if not thousands, of people fleeing for their lives. My daughter, who lives about 1,400 kilometers from Thunder Bay, sent me photographs taken from her lounge window, and I could not believe that those fires so far away had that much effect on the sky and air just the other side of Toronto. It must be devastating. An estimate of the overall damage is not nearly available yet, but my heart certainly goes out to the Collins First Nation, where we already know that the fires have completely destroyed their village and town. Now come on, Charlie, old King Charles, who wants to go build smart model cities in Africa. Here is your opportunity to show you know what it means to be head of state of a country. Here is a challenge for you, Canada. If King Charles says nothing and does nothing, then for Pete's sake get rid of him. Why is it so difficult? I do not understand. He need not even be replaced. He's doing nothing for you. He means nothing to you. He does not even need to be replaced. I mean, ever so often you vote for a new Prime Minister, and that is enough. You have a ruling government. What more do you want? Some old man who comes and visits you once in 6, 7, 8 years and walks around waving to everybody. Ridiculous. Okay, Bookie, breathe. Let's calm down and talk about Harry and Meghan for a while. Please, may I say it again? Please, I'm begging you. Remember, a few videos ago I told you that I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon and talk about the family reunion, which we, in reality, know nothing to very little about. But I told you, details will start leaking. I told you so. I love saying that. So, People magazine obviously got the scoop this time with an article titled Exclusive: How Prince Harry Reunited Archie and Lilibet with King Charles After a Nightmare Week. The article was so big, so exclusive, that it was authored by not one, but two journalists, Simon Perry and Erin Hill, and published yesterday, July the 15th. My friends, I have read some articles blowing hot air up the buttholes of Meghan and Harry, but this article takes the cake. It absolutely wins the prize. Really. I hope you're ready for this. About 3 paragraphs in, it reads, When they gathered at Highgrove House in the English countryside on Friday, July the 10th, it was the first time that the King, 77, had seen his California-based grandchildren in 4 years. For Harry, 41, it marked the fulfillment of a long-held hope, bringing his kids closer to their grandfather. Firstly, the romanticizing of the article by speaking about the English countryside, naming the date so prominently, like it is such a huge, momentous, historical event. And then poor Harry, who harboured this wish to introduce his children to his father. I mean, like it was some great war or something which kept them apart. Not some childish stupidity, not acknowledging that Harry had been in the United Kingdom numerous times since moving to California, and that he could have brought his children numerous times before. What a load of hogwash. But, my dears, it gets worse. One of the strangenesses of the monarchy is that we are all encouraged to forget that they are human beings, because they are representatives of the institution. Royal author Catherine Meyer told people in this week's cover story. But at its heart, it is just a family, and this family has gone through extraordinary upheavals. Whatever you think of the monarchy, this is a moment most of us wanted to see happen. Now, I have no clue who Catherine Meyer is, and I don't care, but she must be somewhat disturbed. Just a family? Excuse me, they are not, by any stretch of the imagination, just a family. The fact that Charles was in the United States, that Harry stopped off in England numerous times, and still Charles had not seen his children and grandchildren, already tells you that this is not just a family. Because imagine me flying to Canada and not seeing my children or grandchildren. I can guarantee you, I can bet you, I can promise you, it will not happen, ever. Secondly, this so-called family travel in chauffeur-driven Rolls-Royces, Bentleys, and gold carriages, not old jalopies in need of new tires. They do not have to beg and borrow to pay their children's school fees and uniforms. They get security and protection and the best medical care available to man. So, just a family? No, I think not. As for most of us wanting to see this reunion, I think I speak for at least those on this particular channel when I say we don't give a damn. There are bigger and more important things to worry about. According to Russell Myers this time, a source, now please note, a source, and we all know who the most regular Sussex source is. Yes, indeed, a woman named Meghan Markle, the star of Suits. Anyway, this source told Myers, this is not the first time. It has not been plain sailing with correspondence or trying to make things work. It all comes back to security. If that is resolved, there would be so much more certainty every time he comes, or they come. Yes, we hear you, Meghan. No, Meghan, you can't get IPP, Meghan. Then the article continues. A source, or then Meghan, tells people that Meghan felt humiliated watching the public back and forth, and that Meghan is very supportive of Harry, and the source added that there is a lot of sadness over how the week unfolded, and that she, Meghan, wasn't able to be by his side. Yes, I'm sure that she was very sad about the missed photo opportunities, but from what I hear, those who attended the Invictus events were quite happy that she did not attend. Some other bloke, Simon Vigar, Vigar, told People Ragmag, at Invictus, Harry was on his A game. Look at what you are missing. It is a crying shame. Meghan and Harry could have been absolutely transformative for the royal family. Now I nearly spat out my coffee. Is this man sane? Does he live under a rock? Was he on another planet the past 7 years? Anyway, then they continue with the symbolism of meeting at Highgrove, how Harry described Highgrove as a place of peace, and how Archie and Lily could now discover it for themselves. How Diana would have been devastated by the rift between the brothers, and how Archie and Lily were taken to Althorpe, where they had the opportunity to learn more about their grandmother. Vomit-inducing vitriol. Now, we know Russell Myers is pro-Sussex, but I went and read up about Simon Vigor, and I doubt Harry and Meghan even knows him. But I'll tell you who did and who does. The Queen, as in Elizabeth II, and Charles. Simon Vigor is a huge, loyal mouthpiece for Charles. And then you just look at him and you can see he has been kissing backsides and sucking up all his life. My friends, I just can't anymore. At least not with Charles, Harry, and the Meghan saga. Not one of the three deserve any respect or admiration from the British people. It is ridiculous. Charles is actively making a mockery of the British people, and Harry and Meghan are helping him in his quest. My dears, and with that, I have to go. I'll see you soon on the next one. Take care, stay vigilant, and stay safe. Bye.